Hello, fellow gardeners. Welcome to Compost, the home gardener's goldmine. Are you looking for a simple way to improve your garden, reduce waste, and live a little more sustainably? Well, get ready, because we're diving into the wonderful world of home composting. It's easier than you think and incredibly rewarding. Composting is nature's way of recycling. It's the process of breaking down organic materials like kitchen scraps and yard waste into a nutrient-rich soil amendment. This amazing stuff is often called black gold by gardeners, and for good reason. Adding compost to your garden soil improves its structure, helps it retain moisture, and provides essential nutrients for healthy plant growth. It's a completely natural fertilizer that benefits your plants without harsh chemicals. Plus, it helps suppress plant diseases and pests. Beyond the garden benefits, composting significantly reduces the amount of waste you send to the landfill. Food scraps and yard waste make up a large portion of household trash. By composting, you're diverting that material and turning it into something valuable. It's a small step that makes a big difference for the environment. You're closing the loop, returning organic matter back to the earth, where it can nourish new life. It feels good to be part of that natural cycle. Composting works best when you have a good mix of greens and browns. Think of greens as nitrogen-rich materials and browns as carbon-rich materials. Getting the right balance is key to a happy compost pile. Greens include things like fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, tea bags, and grass clippings. These materials tend to be moist and break down quickly, providing nitrogen. Browns are drier materials such as dry leaves, shredded newspaper, cardboard, and small twigs. They provide carbon and help create air pockets in the pile, which is important for decomposition. A good rule of thumb is to aim for roughly equal parts greens and browns by volume. Don't worry too much about getting it perfect, especially when you're starting out. You'll get a feel for it over time. While many organic materials can be composted, some things are best left out of your home compost pile. Avoiding these items helps prevent odors, pests, and potential pathogens. Do not add meat or dairy products, oils, or greasy foods. These can attract rodents and other pests, and they can create unpleasant smells as they decompose. Avoid composting pet waste, especially from dogs and cats, as it can contain harmful pathogens. Also, skip diseased or insect-infested plants, as composting may not kill the pathogens or pests, and you could spread them back into your garden. Chemically treated wood or sawdust should also be avoided. Stick to natural, untreated materials for the best results. You don't need anything fancy to start composting. A simple pile in a corner of your yard works, or you can use a bin. Bins help contain the pile, retain heat, and can look tidier. Compost bins come in many forms: open bins made of wire or wood, enclosed plastic tumblers, or even simple garbage cans with holes drilled in them. Choose a spot that's convenient for you, ideally with some sun exposure to help heat things up. Place your bin or pile directly on the soil. This allows beneficial microorganisms and worms from the ground to access the compost and help with the breakdown process. Start by adding a layer of brown materials at the bottom for drainage and airflow. Then begin adding your greens and browns as you collect them, layering them or mixing them together. A successful compost pile needs three main things: air, moisture, and a good mix of materials. Providing these helps the microorganisms do their job efficiently. Turning your compost pile regularly introduces air, which speeds up decomposition and prevents anaerobic conditions that can cause odors. Aim to turn it every few weeks with a pitchfork or compost aerator. If you have a tumbler bin, just give it a spin. Your compost pile should be about as moist as a wrung-out sponge. If it looks dry, add some water. If it looks too wet and slimy, add more brown materials like shredded newspaper or dry leaves. Keep adding your kitchen scraps and yard waste as you generate them. Chop larger items into smaller pieces before adding them. They'll break down much faster. Patience is a virtue in composting. The time it takes for compost to be ready varies depending on the materials you add, the conditions, and how often you turn it. It can take anywhere from a couple of months to a year. You'll know your compost is ready when it looks like dark, crumbly soil. It should have an earthy smell, not a rotten or unpleasant odor. You shouldn't be able to recognize the original materials you put in. except maybe some larger twigs that take longer to break down. The temperature of the pile will also cool down significantly when it's finished composting. Active piles can get quite warm in the center as the microbes work. Once your black gold is ready, it's time to use it in your garden. There are many ways to incorporate this valuable resource. You can mix it into your garden beds before planting, use it as a top dressing around existing plants, or add it to potting mixes for containers. It's also great for mulching around trees and shrubs. Compost improves soil structure, making heavy clay soils drain better and sandy soils hold more moisture. It slowly releases nutrients, providing a steady food source for your plants throughout the season. Using your own homemade compost is incredibly satisfying. You've taken waste materials and transformed them into something that will help your garden thrive. Sometimes your compost pile might not be working perfectly. Don't get discouraged. Most issues are easy to fix. If your pile smells bad, it's likely too wet or not getting enough air. Add more brown materials and turn it more often. If it's not heating up, it might be too dry or lack enough nitrogen, greens. Add some grass clippings or kitchen scraps and water it if needed. If you see pests, make sure you're not adding prohibited items like meat or dairy. Bury kitchen scraps in the center of the pile to help deter them. Making compost at home is a simple, effective way to reduce waste, improve your soil, and grow healthier plants. It connects you more deeply to the natural cycles of growth and decay. It's a practical skill that benefits your garden, your wallet, and the planet. So grab a bin or find a spot in your yard and start your composting journey today. Your garden will thank you.